The Working Group 4 deals with the social aspects of heritage buildings, and meaning that dealing with the people living in heritage buildings, near the heritage buildings, or gaining money from heritage buildings, or having problem with heritage buildings living in them. So we wanted to address this very, very important issue by giving some questionnaires to people, questionnaires that are very selective, first for the stakeholders, then for the people involved in working with heritage buildings, and people involved living in heritage buildings, as well as, of course, a huge group of tourists and people coming to see some heritage buildings, monuments. So the work that we have done already during this coast action that gathers more than 25, I think 26 countries, in this group we have chosen, let's say, a slightly smaller working group from 4, 5, 6 countries already, and doing with specialists in sociology to give us a methodology to work on and to produce some questionnaires for those targeted groups. Half of the work has been done already because we are halfway on the project, and we hope till the end of next year to have the pilot projects already on via internet and some other, let's say, very targeted small pilot projects. Aside that, we have decided to create a questionnaire for an interview done, of course, by social workers, sociologists, scientists, within a very well-known, each time, a specific monument, a specific heritage building, so that the results are not random. The results are not only, how could one say, the results are not general, in fact, but very specific for one single monument at the time. What will be the result? First, it will aid the people working in conservation of heritage buildings, because they will know what the problems are with people living and using heritage buildings as their living spaces. And on the other hand, what are the problems dealt by the stakeholders, the decision makers on the management of historical buildings. So these are two very different kinds of problems that we want to solve. And finally, with some kind of white book that is scheduled for the end of the project, we will have a chapter, an article, which will give guidelines for the European Commission, and possibly, we hope so eventually, to give the guidelines to decision makers within the whole of European Union to make us feel better with the preservation of our historical buildings.